Bezerk Hillclimb Monzter has been handling like a dog. It was taily at my last event at Grafton, and in my final lap I had a spin. This car has never even had the most basic wheel alignment, apart from me with a set square and some string in the shed, and that can only go so far and can never compare with the exactness of today's electronic wheel aligning equipment. So it's time I took this car to a suspension specialist. If you've had anything to do with motorsport in either Australia or New Zealand, or if you've got a well set up four-wheel drive for off-road driving, then this is a name that you'll be familiar with and respect. Greg Nolan started Nolan Bushes in Sydney decades ago. He sold that company and he now operates Suspension Concepts at Wyong, about halfway between Sydney and Newcastle. When Greg saw on the Facebook page Race Cars in Aussie Sheds that I wanted to get my car corner weighted after how badly it had been handling at Grafton, he messaged me and suggested I come and see him. And I couldn't get there fast enough. I'd bought Nolan Bushes off Greg over 20 or 30 years ago for a number of my different race Hondas. And I knew how highly regarded he was in motorsport when it came to getting cars to handle. So if anyone could fix this terribly handling car, Greg was the man for the job. Just done the initial wheel alignment on the car, and I think I'm finally a winner. I think I've gone straight to the top of the worst suspension alignment on a race car ever to come through this workshop. I thought I would do that, and the instruments don't lie. It's all over the shop. Almost every adjustment you can put on a wheel is out, and particularly as far as evenness goes, one side is this way, the other side is that way, and so forth. That's before we even get into corner weighting. So the good thing is that I've got reasons as to why the car is not handling properly, and we can fix it now. On the front suspension, Greg added a hard race adjustable top wishbone. Now, I tried these about 20 years ago, and in those days they only had two nuts and bolts holding the ball joint to the end of the wishbone, and I found in rally conditions that they came loose and came undone, which was really dangerous. But now they have 4 bolts, and Greg also found that if you remove the paint between the 2 layers there where it can slide, it locks together better. Once we've confirmed all these suspension settings with a bit of racing, then I'll drill a pin through that top plate and lock that off. My original rear springs, which were red, were 60% of the front spring rates. We've now swapped the springs out in the back, and these new ones are 110% of the front spring rate. So the spring rate on the back is now greater than that on the front, which Greg has told me will improve the handling, and I trust him. I've also found out in talking to him that he used to race on the Civic for many years. So he knows exactly what he's doing.